I am going to talk about a new formula, which is a combination of two functions, match and index. Now, as I mentioned, that it is made by combination, which means that in this video, we are not only going to learn about how to create a formula, but also how to combine two formulas together to get the results that we need. We use it primarily to overcome the limitations of VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP formula. And I have highlighted these limitations in red font, that the lookup value should be in the leftmost column of the table, which is the limitation of a VLOOKUP formula. Also, another limitation was that the return value should be towards the right side of the first column. So let's see how this works. As this is a combination formula, we firstly need to understand these two separate formulas, that what does match do. A match function finds the position of a lookup value within a row or column, which means that it just returns the position on which any lookup value is located. And this is the syntax of match. You would notice that this is very similar to VLOOKUP, which was that we firstly enter the lookup value and then the table or array, and then we mention the match type. What does index do? The index function returns the value of a cell at a specified row and column within a given range. So the thing to note here is that it returns the value of a cell at a specified row or column. We need to specify row and column from which we need to return this value. Let me take you to the syntax of index formula, which is the array from where we have to look up this value, and the row number, which is what we will get from match. Let's see how it works in Excel. I am in my Excel right now, and we would be using the same data which we used while applying VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP formula. Now, if you notice that in this data, the phone number is mentioned in column C, whereas the name and date of birth are towards the left of column C. So as the limitation of VLOOKUP says that the first column should be phone number. If I have to look up any value, which is a phone number, then the phone number should be in the leftmost column. So obviously, because date of birth and name are towards the left of phone number column, that's the reason we would be using match and index. For demonstration purpose, I will firstly apply these two formulas separately and then I will combine them. So let's suppose I have to find that what is the row number of this particular phone number. To find a row number for the phone number, I will apply match here, equals to match. This is the lookup value, comma, and I have to look up this number in this column, and I need to look at this number as an exact match. So it is returning me 22. Let's see if it is true or not. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to find this in the database, and I have found this. You see this is highlighted here, 94737, and this is of Paul Doyle, and this is in the row number 22. So this is correct. Now let me drag this formula. And so this is how it gives me row number of each phone numbers. If I have to identify name of a person who is associated to this phone number, then I would use index. I'll write equals to index. And here I need to mention that in which array is my value. So the array in which the value name is, in column A, and the row number is something which we have found here through the match formula. And as soon as I pressed enter, it gave me Paul Doyle's name. I can drag it, and this is how we get the name. Now you would notice that name column is towards the left. Still, the formula has returned names against each phone number. Similarly, I could have done it for date of birth, or I could also do it for address. Now let's try to make a combination formula for date of birth. Now here I'll not apply each formula separately. I'll apply it together. So I will write equals to index. And what do I have to pull? I have to pull date of birth. So I have selected date of birth column. And when it is asking for the row number, there is where I know that I need to give it the number for that specific phone number or the value that I am pulling. So I need to match this particular phone number. And where do I have to match it? I have to match it in column C, and I have to do an exact match. Please note to close the bracket which was for index, and that's the reason you would notice that as soon as I type this closing bracket, the other opening bracket of index, it would be bolded. So Excel kind of gives us an indication that which opening bracket is that corresponding closing bracket for. Now I press enter and we see some number here. So I'll change it to the short date and I'll just drag the formula, and this is how we get date of birth of every person. Now let me just check if the data is appearing correctly or not. So I am checking for 9368425. I need to find in column C. I press Ctrl F, Ctrl V, find next. This particular phone number is in row 623, belongs to Norma Brown, who has the date of birth as 4th September. So let's see if data is matching or not. This is Norma Brown and 4th of September is the correct data. So this is how we apply the match and index in combination. We have learned how to nest one formula under a previous formula and how to use parentheses to make sure that the formula works correctly. Thank you for watching.